Good afternoon, my student and viewers at home. My name is Comrade Ebobe Christopher, your civic teacher. I hope you enjoyed your weekend and know you are staying safe from COVID-19. Today, we are going to look at the topic, characteristics of human rights. Before we go into the characteristics of human rights, let us look at what makes up our objectives. By the end of this lesson, you are expected to know the meaning of right, meaning of human right, characteristics of human rights. What is right? Right can be described as an entitlement of human being endowed from the Creator, irrespective of the race, color, sex, religion, or origin that an individual comes from. It can also be said that these rights are inalienable because they are given by Creator, who has ultimate power to take them away from the creation. Now, let's look at the meaning of human rights. Human rights are rights inherent to all human beings, no matter their sex, nationality, place of residence, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, language, or any other status. Everybody is equally entitled to human rights without discrimination. These rights are all interacted, interdependent, and indivisible. What do we mean by this? The right we have as a human being is a natural gift, but the human rights we have are those rights laid down by the government, by the people ruling us. And this right is only meant for everybody, no matter the color, your sex, your nationality, your ethnic group that you come from. Everybody have equal human rights in the earth. So, my students, all these human rights are entitled to you. Once you're a human being, you have all these rights, and nobody has the right to deny you of these rights as a citizen and as a human being. Now, let's look at the characteristics of human rights. Number one, inherent. Human rights are inherent because they are not granted by any person or authority. Human rights do not have to be bought, earned, or inherent. They belong to people because they are human beings. Human rights are inherent to each individual. This is what I'm talking about. We say that it is inherent because we cannot buy our human rights. Our human right is natural, and everybody has the right to his human rights. Nobody has the right to deny you of your human rights. And these human rights are what you know as freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association, freedom of worship, in any other thing, all etc., so on and so forth. All these things are the human rights which you have. We have treated it in our last topic, in our last term, about human rights. So we are talking about the characteristics, and this number one says inherent of what? Human rights. That these are not bought or earned or inherent, but they belong to people simply because they are human beings. The second one is what? Fundamental. Human rights are fundamental right because without them, the life and dignity of man will be meaningless. Because it is fundamental, it is stateable, it is accordingly. This is fundamental because we are human beings. It functions. If you go to court, the court hear your say, the hear of the opposing and defending. All these things are because of your right to listen. For the court, the judge, to listen to your own opinion before giving a judgment over your matter. So these are the fundamentals of human rights. He said because without them, the life and dignity of man will be what? Meaningless. Number three, inalienable. Human rights cannot be taken away. No one has the right to deprive another person of them for any reason. People still have human rights even when the laws of their country do not recognize them. Yes. Like in abortion, Nigeria did not approve abortion, but people still do abortion, feeling that it is their right. They don't want to bring out a child that will be what? That will be fatherless. They decided to abort a baby, and many doctors do that. DNC, many doctors do that. So my people, there are things in which the country of your country will not do not recognize that type of human rights, but you have that right to exercise that power. accordingly. The other one is indivisible. Indivisible simply means to live in dignity. All human beings are entitled to freedom, security, and decent standard of living. Concurrently, human rights are indivisible and cannot be what? Divided. They cannot be divided even when other rights has already been what? Enjoyed. If I have 2 mangoes and you have 2 mangoes, and maybe I planted many mangoes in my compound, and when I pluck one, you pluck one. I decided to pluck another one. If you ask us to bring one, I will bring 10. It is nobody's business. It is my right because I have those fruits in my compound. So I have to do such. So all these rights can never be divided. Well, because of what they are what? Indivisible. We have universal. Human rights are universal in application, and they are applied irrespective of one's lives. Human rights is enforceable without national border. Human rights are the same for all human beings, regardless of your sex, race, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin. We are all born free and equal in dignity and rights. Human rights are what? Universal. What do you mean by human rights are universal? The way this right is being scheduled in Nigeria is also the same way in USA, America, Switzerland, and other countries of the world. It is what? Universal. Right to freedom is the same thing over there. Everybody have their right. In America, it is much more expressed. Once you are 18 years, you are on your own in America. But in our country, Nigeria, because of the situation and the hardship in our country, you see an adult stay in the father's house like 30 years, even get married and still living with his parents. But in abroad, it is really civilized that from 18 years, you look for your own house and you become what? Dependent on your own. Now, we have what? Interdependent. Human rights are interdependent because the fulfillment of one cannot be without realizing of the what? The other. Now, today's topic is as simple as any other thing. Human rights. Human rights is a fundamental right of every individual, every human being. Before we go into summary, I want to enlighten you more on this human rights. Human rights are those rights we have as an individual or as human being. Ordinary right is a right in which we inherit when we are being created by God. It's only God that has the right to withdraw those rights. But in human rights, nobody has the right to withdraw it, only as apart from your creator. The state government cannot deprive you of your right, but rather they caution you if you are going above or against the right or the rules of the country. Now, in summary, my students, human rights are rights inherent to all human beings, no matter their sex, nationality, place of residence, national or ethnic origin, color, language, religion, or any other social status. Everybody is equally entitled to human rights without discrimination. These rights are all interacted, interdependent, and indivisible. So, my students, with this summary, we have already summarized the topic of today, telling us that everybody is what? Equal to what? Entitled to human rights. Nobody has the privilege, the power, the authority, or even the charisma to remove your human rights or deny you of your human rights. You can sue the person to court for you to gain your what? Your human rights. Assignment. Number 1, define human rights. Number 2, explain the following: inherent, fundamental, inalienable, indivisible, and universal. Submit it to appropriate websites of our school website. And I know that you are obeying the COVID-19 rules and regulations. Stay at home. Help your parents in these holidays. Do the things they ask you to do. And make sure you obey the rules of COVID-19. Thank you. I still remain your civic teacher, Comrade Ebobe Christopher. See you next time.